Welcome back, students. Welcome to the class. So now we will discuss some questions on the Dalton's law. First question: calculate the pressure of the mixture if at constant temperature 250 ml occupy that much of pressure and 380 ml occupy 700 of pressure filled in a flask of 1 liter capacity. Now, what do you mean by that? 250 ml of nitrogen at 640 pressure, okay, are placed in 1 liter capacity. Similarly, 330 ml of oxygen gas placed in 1 liter capacity. So what can be the total pressure? So first you will do what? First you will find out the partial pressure of N2, and here you will calculate the partial pressure of O2. How would you do that? So you will write P1 V1 equal to P2 V2. Partial pressure of nitrogen is what? Is 640 mmHg given in the question. Look at that. And volume is 250. Here what is the pressure we do not know, but volume is 1000 ml because it is given 1 liter. Okay, so what can be the pressure here? It is 640 into 1 by 4. So it is 160 mmHg. That is the P2. Okay, sure about that or not? So what is the pressure of oxygen? It is P1 V1 equal to P2 V2. So what is pressure 1 here? 700 mmHg. What is V1? 380 ml. P2 we do not know, but V2 we know, that is 1000 liters. So what is the P2 of oxygen there? Answer would be what? Answer would be 7 into 38, and the answer comes out to be 266 mmHg. So what you will do now? You will do now P total will be equal to what? P total would be equal to partial pressure of O2 plus partial pressure of N2 in the given situation. What is that? So it is 266 plus 160. Now what is that value equal to? The value is 426 mmHg. What is that? So look at the question once more. Calculate the pressure of the mixture. Calculate the pressure of the mixture. Okay, I am repeating once more. Calculate the pressure of the mixture at a constant temperature of 250 of nitrogen at 640 pressure and 380 ml of O2 at 700 of pressure are filled in a flask of 1 liter. So both these gases, what they are, nitrogen and oxygen, both of them are placed in what? 1 liter flask. So 1 liter comes out to be how much? It comes out to be 1000 ml. So you will determine the pressure of these two gases finally, and then you will add them. So answer comes out to be 426 mmHg. Is that clear to you now? So what is the next question? The next question is that 4 gram oxygen and 2 gram of hydrogen are filled at 0 degrees Celsius in a 1 liter capacity. What will be the total pressure of the mixture? Now you know that I already told you that in that case that what is P total will be equal to, it will be P of gas 1 plus P of gas 2. So it comes out to be what? It comes out to be N1 of gas 1 RT by V plus N2 by RT by V. Since temperature and volume is same for the same vessel, so it is N1 N2 RT by V. So what is N1 N2 equal to? It is equal to total number of moles. So you can use the formula. What you can use this formula, okay, you get that, or you can use this formula. P total is equal to N total RT by V in the same vessels to get the answer. So what is the answer now here? So first you find out the number of moles of oxygen gas, that is given mass by molar mass, that is 32. So it comes out to be 1 by 8. Then number of moles of H2, that is given mass by molar mass 1. So N total comes out to be what? 1 plus 1 by 8. So answer is 9 by 8. So what is P total now here equal to? Total number of moles into R 0.0821. The answer will come out in atmospheric at 0 degrees Celsius 273. So in atmospheric, answer would be 25.18 atmospheric. Easy? That is too easy. Sure about that or not? Now if you look at this question, it is given that H2 and O2 are obtained from the water. So if you take it very closely, it is equal to what? It is equal to H2 plus half O2. It means that 18 gram of water on complete electrolysis will give you what? 22.4 liter of H2 and 11.2 liter of oxygen. So what will happen here? So what will happen if you have what? If you have 40 gram. So if you have 40 gram of water, then how would you find out? 18 gram of water will give you 22.4 liter of H2. 40 gram of water will give you X liter of H2. So what is the value of X? Answer is 22.4 into 40 by 18. So what is the answer here now? So it will give you which value? It will give you value 49.77 liter, and half of that will be that. Okay. So this is the amount of H2 and this is the amount of O2 you are able to get. So 24.88 can be taken as 24.9 liter and 49.77 can be taken as 49.8 what? 49.8 liter. So by taking into consideration, now we can use the value. Now if the given condition is P1, V1, T1 and STP condition is P2, V2, T2. So first you will do for hydrogen. So what is given condition? Pressure we have to find out. Volume 1 is given to us 60 liter of the vessel. T1 is given to us is 290 Kelvin. Why? Because it is 17 degrees Celsius. What is STP condition? So this is STP condition. This is given condition. So STP condition, pressure is how much? Pressure at STP would be equal to 1 atmospheric. Volume of the hydrogen gas is 49.8. temperature is 273. So what is P1 here now equal to? So when you cross multiply it, answer comes out to be 0.8804 atmospheric for hydrogen gas. Are you sure about that? I'm repeating once more to you that hydrogen and oxygen both are produced from the decomposition of water. If 18 gram of water decompose, it will give you 22.4 and 11.2 liter of oxygen according to the STP condition. So under STP condition, 44 gram will give you 49.7 and 24.9 liter of this. So first you calculate hydrogen under given set of condition. What is given set of condition? This is given set of condition. That volume is 60 liter and temperature is 70 degrees Celsius. So you will put that value here. Okay, and you will get the partial pressure of H2 in this vessel now, that is equal to 0.8804. So what is the value for oxygen? So for oxygen, P1, V1, T1, that is given condition, is equal to P2, V2, T2. That is what? That is the STP condition. So what is P1 equal to? So it is P2, V2 into T1 by P1, T2. What is P2 equal to? That is 1 atmospheric. Why? Because it is STP condition. What is V2 given? 24.9. T1 is given how much? That is 290 Kelvin. T2 is STP, so 273. What is P1 equal to? P1 we have to find out, sorry. So V1 is equal to 60 liter. It is equal to 60 liter. So what is P1 here? P1 here find out to be 0.44. So P total will be partial pressure of O2 plus partial pressure of H2. So 0.44 plus 0.88. It comes out to be how much? It comes out to be 1.32 atmospheric. Now if you look at that, there are three gases are there. First you find out number of moles of methane. A is methane, B is hydrogen and C is oxygen. So it is given mass divided by molar mass. So number of moles of methane is 1. Number of moles of hydrogen, that is 8. And number of moles of oxygen will be 0.5. So N total comes out to be 1 plus 8 plus 0.5. So it comes out to be 9.5. So if you asked me partial pressure of gas A, that will be the mole fraction of gas A into P total. So what is mole fraction of A? That is number of moles of A by N total into P total. So it is 1 by 9.5 into P total. What is partial pressure of P? It is mole fraction of B into P total. What is mole fraction of B? Number of moles of B by N total into P total. So what is NB? It is 8 divided by 9.5 into P. So it is 8 by 9.5 P total. What is partial pressure of C? Mole fraction of C into P total. What is mole fraction of C? Number of moles of C into N total into P total. So it is 0.5 by 9.5 into P total. So it is 1 by 19 into P total. It is 16 by 19 of P total. And that is 2 by 19 of P total. Easy? That is too easy. So first find the number of moles of each component, then find the total number of moles. Mole fraction is the number of moles by total number of moles into P total. So that's how you are getting that answers. Easy? Too easy. Now look at this question. In the question it has been asked that at 300 Kelvin 400 ml of nitrogen gas collected over water and had a pressure of 500 mmHg. At this temperature, vapor pressure of the water is 23 mmHg. What is the volume of N2 at STP? So what you will do, apply Dalton's law that P of moist gas is equal to pressure of dry gas plus aqueous tension. Now what is P of moist gas? Pressure of the moist gas is 500 mmHg. P of dry gas we do not know, but aqueous tension comes out to be how much? It comes out to be 23. It is given in the question. So P of N2 dry gas is equal to 477 mmHg. 477 mmHg, that is the partial pressure of nitrogen gas. Partial pressure of the nitrogen gas. Is that clear to you? Okay. Now after that what will happen? Now pressure of N2 dry is 477 mmHg and volume of nitrogen is how much? It is 400 ml. It is 400 ml. Now you have to find out the volume of nitrogen at STP condition. So you will write P1 V1 T1 at given condition equal to P2 V2 T2 at STP. So what is given condition? Given condition, pressure is 477, volume is 400, T1 is 300. So what is P2? We know that pressure at STP will be equal to what? The pressure at STP will be 760. Volume we do not know. Temperature is no 273. So what is V2 equal to? It is 273 into 477 into 400 divided by 760 into 300. So what is V2 equal to? So when we solve it, it comes out with 228.46 ml. Is that clear to you now? Very much clear. Now we will going back to Graham's law of diffusion. Okay, what is the Graham's law of diffusion? States that the Graham law of diffusion we will now discuss. So before discussing that law, first we will have to understand what is diffusion. Diffusion is the phenomenon where there is a movement of one material from the area of high concentration to the area of low concentration. This means particle or molecules spread through medium. For example, if you spray at one end of the room, you will be able to smell the at the other end of the room. This is because of the diffusion phenomenon. Okay, if you spray at one perfume, the person standing on the other end of the room is able to get the smell also. Why? Because the particle will diffuse, or you can say the particle will go from a region of high concentration to a region of low concentration. Okay, effusion, if the process of which the air escape or leaks through a very tiny hole whose diameter is considerably smaller than the mean free path of the molecule. I am repeating once more. The hole should have the diameter smaller than the mean free path of the molecules. Under that circumstances, all the molecule which reaches the hole will pass through, as the collision between the molecule in these places will be negligible. So this is called as effusion. It is called as what? Effusion. Are you getting that in your mind now? Sure about that? So answer is very much sure. So here diffusion and effusion have a broad meaning. Now what is Graham law of diffusion? The Graham law of diffusion or Graham law of effusion was formulated by Thomas Graham. According to the law, at constant pressure and temperature, molecules or atoms with lower molar mass will effuse faster than the higher molar mass or atoms. Thomas Graham even found out the rate at which the escaping occurs through diffusion. In other words, it states that the rate of effusion is inversely proportional to the square root of its molar mass. This formula is generally used while comparing the rate of the two different gases at equal pressure and temperature. So the formula can be written as the rate of diffusion of a gas is proportional to 1 by density or 1 by molar mass. So square root of the molar mass. So you can say that rate of diffusion of a gas will be inversely proportional to the square root of the molar mass of the gas. Okay, the reason being that 2 into vapor density is known as what? It is known as the molar mass of the gas. 2 into vapor density is called the molar mass of the gas. Are you sure about that? So in place of density you can use molar mass. Is that clear to you? Now consider diffusion versus effusion. Consider what? Diffusion versus effusion. Now let us suppose there you can see there are lot of gas molecules are present and a partition, that is blue color partition, is there. So if you remove that partition, what will happen? The molecule will spread over the all over space. That is called as diffusion. But if you make a small pinhole in the partition such that the size of the pinhole is greater than the mean free path, then the gas will escape out of that. Okay, without removing the partition, by placing a pinhole in the board, you are allow the lighter gas molecule to pass through the pinhole faster than in comparison to the heavier particles if it is a mixture. If it is pure component, then all the molecules have the same rate of diffusion. Now, so this is called effusion. So allowing the gaseous particle to pass through a through pinhole, and then allowing the particle to intermix together via a broad, you can say, area, that is called as diffusion. Now that is also an experiment to see the diffusion and effusion. If you allow the gas to pass through pinhole, it will spread into the other volume. But if you remove the whole partition, then gas will instantaneously intermix. So that is called as diffusion. So allowing the molecule to pass through a pinhole is effusion, and allowing the molecule to interact with each other through a broader, you can say, gap is called as diffusion. Now we know that the rate of diffusion is equal to the volume of the gas diffused out by time taken. So rate of diffusion of gas A will be volume of the gas A diffused out by the time taken by gas A. Rate of diffusion of gas B will be the volume of the gas B diffused out divided by the time taken by gas B. So rate of diffusion of gas A by rate of diffusion of gas B will be what? Will be equal to VA by TA divided by VB by TB. So what will you write? You will write VA by TA into TB by VB. So in place of RA by RB, can you put that value? I am repeating once more. Yes, we can put that value here. So what can happen? That rate of diffusion of gas A by rate of diffusion of gas B under same condition of temperature and pressure will be molar mass of gas B by molar mass of gas A. So in place of RA, you can write VA by TA, and this ratio becomes equal to what? TB by VB. So what can we say here now? If volume and time period is given, we can rewrite the equation like that. Are you sure about that? Easy to understand? That is easy to understand. Sure about that now? So we have to understand that how we can write it in different manners. Similarly, everyone knows that, so you can rewrite the equation like that also. So if both the gases are coming from different region of the pressure, then what can? Then rate of diffusion proportional to the pressure. Rate of diffusion proportional to velocity of the molecule. Rate of diffusion proportional to temperature. Rate proportional to the distance covered. So all these values you can replace by the distance and you will get the answer. Okay, so let us suppose if gas A and gas B are coming from different region of space, then rate proportional to PA, rate B proportional to PB, but inversely proportional to their molar masses. So that will be the rule. Are you sure about that or not? So that we have to understand. Okay, so we will have different kind of, so RA by RB, okay, can be equal to what? Can be equal to the distance traveled by the particle A divided by distance traveled by the particle B under same conditions. So this also have to be taken into account. Now if we look at that picture once more, diffusion may be defined as the process of intermixing of the gases irrespective of their relationship without the effect of any external agency. What do you mean by that? That here you have one partition is here. On one side of partition you have NO2 gas which is brown in color, and on other side of partition you have hydrogen gas. If you are allowing the lid to remove, then what will happen? Earlier the reddish brown portion because of NO2 gas is there, upper portion is colorless. But if you remove the lid, after some time you will find that there will be a light brown color throughout the mixture, throughout the jar. Why? Because hydrogen will diffuse into the NO2 gas and NO2 diffuse into what? H2 gas. Okay, the reason being that hydrogen being lighter in weight, its rate of diffusion will be much more faster than NO2. That is the cause that diffusion is the cause that gases are able to spread in such a large volume. Okay, sure about that? Now here also in a gas, the molecules are very far away from each other. So empty spaces among the molecules are very large. Therefore, molecule of one gases can move into the empty space available in the other gas, and vice versa it happens. Okay, and that lead to the Graham's law of diffusion, that under similar condition of temperature and pressure, rate of diffusion of gas is inversely proportional to the square root of their densities, or in place of density you can use the word molar mass. If fusion is a particular case of diffusion as a result of which a gas present in a container is allowed to escape through a small hole. For example, when a tube of a tire gets punctured, the air escapes out of the fine hole because of fusion. It may be noted that the law of diffusions are also applicable on law of fusion. So let's look at one example. One question has been put up here. Okay, what is the question? That 200 ml of SO2 gas diffused through a porous plug in 600 seconds. How much methane will be diffused in the same time? So in that case, what you will write? The rate of SO2 by rate of methane will be equal to what? Molar mass of methane by molar mass of SO2. So what is molar mass of methane equal to? That is 16. Molar mass of SO2, that is 64. Rate equal to volume of SO2 by time taken by SO2 into reverse of that, time taken by methane by volume of methane will be equal to what? Equal to 1 by 4. So that is 1 by 2. So time taken in both the cases is same. So what is the volume of SO2? That is 200. And what is the volume of methane? We have to find out. Is equal to 1 by 2. So it implies that it is 400. So volume of methane that is being diffused out under same circumstances will be equal to what? Will be equal to 400 ml.